This is A Drink with the Hurricane, the talk show discussing all things growing your home care business. This video is sponsored by Home Care Evolution, where we help home care agencies adapt to changing circumstances, transform their business so that they can thrive for years to come. And the reason why I'm the most excited for this session is because it's not so much about preparing your business to exit as if you're going to sell your business tomorrow. Although I know that there are some of you in the room right now who are thinking about selling your business in the next 6 months, the next year, the next 2 years. And then I know there's a bunch of you who are brand new who are like, I'm not even thinking about selling my business. So what do I need to hear this? Why you need to hear this, and everybody needs to hear this, is because everybody needs to understand that in order for you to be able to exit your business someday, you need to be able to have your business run independently of you. Last night when I was at the VIP cocktail reception, a lot of folks were coming up to me and they were talking about how, I love my business, Steve, things are going well, but man, am I tired. It's all on me. I'm working 80 hours a week. Remember that session when I opened with this morning with the wheel? And I talked about making time for the priorities. Well, if you're working 80 hours a week and you sleep supposedly 56 hours a week, there's not much time left over for other things that matter. So if we can get to a point where as a business owner, and I know it sounds crazy, but as a business owner, we can work 35 to 40 hours a week, that's going to give us a much better work-life balance. And if we ourselves are removed from the day-to-day operations, that's going to make our business that much more attractive to a potential buyer sometime in the future. And so I always teach people, and I like to teach, this is the main focus of the Home Care Elite Academy, as a matter of fact. I like to teach people how to remove yourself from the day-to-day operations because you never know when you're going to be ready to sell. But when that day comes, if you've been running it that way, you'll get a greater return on investment. All right? So, have you ever wondered, and I like to say this, right, what it would feel like to be able to control your own schedule as a business owner as opposed to your business controlling you? Would anybody ever wonder that? Let me see your hands, right? You ever wonder what it's like to not have to be a slave to your business? You ever wonder what it would feel like to be able to go away for a vacation and not get a phone call? Everybody wonder that, right, my business owners? You ever wonder what it's like to be able to go away and go to, your son or daughter's baseball or softball game and not have to get a phone call because something happened at the office that nobody could handle and it's all back on you? And then you missed your kid hit the home run because you were under the bleachers talking to somebody about something, right? That's the real life that we deal with this business, right? And then you're about to discover the keys to being able to do what you love in your day-to-day business. Like, I'm not saying that you don't have to be in the business anymore, but do the parts of the business that you love and then have other people do the things that you don't love that maybe they love. That's very impactful. That's very important. Another thing that you're about to discover is you're going to discover about a position. I'll keep talking about care coordinator. Here's another position, executive director. That's the key. How do I get an executive director to basically be another boss in the organization who's going to be able to run the company? You see this picture here. I'm so glad that I'm telling you, this is like perfect. I can't believe that you had said this, but this is perfect because you see this as a CEO. Well, as a CEO should not be involved in the day-to-day operations, right? You look at a corporate structure. I'm going to teach you right now how to basically have a president, right? A president down here, and then the CEO is over here talking about additional revenue streams and how to add new service lines and expand and everything else. Because when you have a president running the organization, you as the CEO can focus on those higher level things. You're about to discover how to do that. That's what I'm going to talk about in here. And my promise to you is that at the end of this presentation, when it's done, you're going to have a clear path on how to be able to do this and what you have to do step by step so that you can remove yourself from the day-to-day and focus on the things that matter most to you in your business and personally so you can get that wheel. All right, you guys excited for this presentation or what? Let me hear you. Right? I'm excited for this presentation, right? Because there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem. The problem is healthcare, as much as we love what we do, and we all love it because you would not be doing this if you didn't love it, right? Everybody in this room agrees, right? Healthcare, this is hard. This is a hard business. And you're not doing this just because it's about making money. You know what I'm saying, right? But this is a difficult business. You know, not only do we have to deal with the caregiver crisis, and it's not ending anytime soon, right? I'm going to give you tips and advice on how to make it better, but it's never going to go away. It's always going to be an issue. But you're also dealing with people's parents. This is a very emotional business. You got mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and grandparents, and you have grandchildren and adult children who are caring for them that you have to answer to every single day. This is a 24/7 business. That is a huge problem, and as a result, this is why so many people are burnt out. Now, what is masterminding? So I'm going to talk about masterminding for a second. What I love about masterminding, because I belong to a mastermind group, what I love about masterminding is this gives me a chance to be around other people who have a business that's similar to mine, so that I can bounce ideas off of these other successful entrepreneurs and fast track my road to success to get to where I want to be. How did I learn to hire Nicole as an executive director, or actually really promote Nicole to an executive director? That's how I did it. But where did I learn it? I learned it from my mastermind group that I belong to. Why? Because I was traveling all over the country to speak at conferences and conventions and do training at people's offices and whatnot. And every time I left, my business would start to tank. So I literally, out of necessity, had to learn how to remove myself from the day-to-day operations. Let me tell you, it is not easy. All right? So one of the things I'm going to tell you is to join a mastermind group. That's a step in the process, but I wanted to mention it now because it gives you the way.